Today we got two twins, obviously, because twins come in pairs. That was a crap start to the intro, but we proceed on. We've got two players, twins, both strikers, but they're at the opposite ends of the football pyramid. We've got one in the Premier League, one in the Vanarama National League. They have got the same current ability, same potential ability. How will they fare? Let's jump into it and meet whatever I've called them. Welcome to the experiment, ladies and gentlemen. That was a beautifully well-crafted intro. I'm sure you'll all agree. It's Robbie and Kyle Worthington. And let me tell you, this experiment will be well Worthington your time. Yeah. I'd understand if you all left right now, if you were still here after the crap intro. But if you are still here, don't know what that was. Stick around. Robbie and Kyle, 85 current ability, 190 potential ability. They're both driven because they haven't passed the driving test yet. Bang! We're on fire today, ladies and gentlemen. The crap puns are out in force. Robbie is a Manchester City player. He's outspoken. Gobshite. That's what he is. And that's his attribute breakdown. 184 centimetres tall. He's got some cracking finishing. He's very determined. He's good off the ball, good composure, not bad pace. And he's contracted to Manchester City, as mentioned. And also, his brother, ignore the fact he says last club, Manchester City, might have cloned him in the pre-game editor and then moved him to Altrincham. But he is at Altrincham, ladies and gentlemen. Altrincham, he is at 17 years old. And as you can see, slightly different hairdo. It's just a different version of the Mid-Journey face. Peek behind the curtain, if you will. Exactly the same attribute breakdown. They're just clones of each other. That's all I've done. Clone them. Hidden attributes, front-facing attributes. Everything about them is exactly the same. Even the Mid-Journey prompt is exactly the same. Robbie's got a little bit of a above his left eye. Although Kyle's got a bit of one as well. How'd you tell them apart then? I don't know. Answers on the postcard. How'd you tell them apart? We will see. Anyway, Altrincham for Kyle, Robbie at Man City. Who will perform better? Will the facilities and playing with better players treat Robbie better? Or will the fact that Kyle is probably going to get some game time do him better in the Vanarama National League? Well, time will tell. We're going to move forward one solitary year and hope they're both still there. But Robbie might have got a loan move. We don't know. On we move to 2024. Well, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. We're one season in and we've moved from 85. Robbie is up at 112. So he's improved 27 attribute points without playing a single game for Man City. He's just played in the under-18s all season. And yeah, doing pretty well. 1 under 21 cap, 1 under 21 goal. Kyle, he's wanted by 15 clubs. The player has been listed for loan as the club no longer require his services. Excuse me. All these teams want to sign him. United, Aston Villa. The club no longer require his services. What's he done? 7 goals in 36 appearances. That's disappointing. 31 of those were starts. Makeshift defensive midfielder. Why are they playing him there? So Robbie is better aerially, technically, and in terms of speed. Kyle, not better in any shape or form at all. He's better at leadership and he's better at teamwork. In my opinion, 2 of the worst attributes on the game. Stamina is also, he's better than, which is an alright attribute. But yeah, in my opinion, leadership is just a vacuum for current ability. You need one player with great leadership, your captain, and that's it. Robbie's grown a centimetre, if anyone cares. There you go. Bang. So Altrincham, in that first season, they finished 17th, and now they've got the arse with Kyle. Says, loan listed, no longer require his services. You get a couple of million for him. And I think by the time we come back in 2025, he will have moved already from the opposite end of the football pyramid. So, on we move. Right, Robbie's gone to Troyes, or Troyes, as I believe they say in France. He's on loan from Manchester City. He's a Carabao Cup winner. Under 19 Championship Golden Boot runner-up. 3 appearances in the Carabao Cup, it seems. And he won it. And therefore, he's a Carabao Cup winner already. Gone to Troyes the other day, I would assume. Can't quite work. Contract. Yeah, of course. Started 30th of the 6th. He went 2 days ago. 2 days ago he went to Troyes, so he's barely even landed in France. And Kyle's gone to Aston Villa. £5 million they paid for him. 4.1 up front. Despite the fact he was loan listed due to the club no longer requiring his services, they played him in the first 2 bloody games of the season, didn't they? And then he went to Aston Villa, where he played 6 times off the bench. And now we have Robbie, who's been at Manchester City. He's now at 128 current ability. Kyle is at 118. So the gulf in class is beginning to show. They're both still driven. Kyle's clawed that centimetre back. They're both at 185 centimetres. And there's a 10 attribute gulf between them. Well, Robbie's at Troyes. Hopefully going to do a little bit of something in Ligue 2. What's the Media Dream 11 saying? Yeah, he's in there. Robbie Worthington is in the Media Dream 11 for Ligue 2. And Kyle at 118 at Aston Villa. Unai Emery is still in charge. Who have they got? They've got Tammy Abraham, £15.5 million from Roma. That's a bit of a signing, if you ask me. Still got Ollie Watkins. There you go then. Liverpool and City have won the Premier League over the first 2 seasons. Of course, Robbie has not got a Premier League winners medal because he has yet to make an appearance in the league for Manchester City. Well, we're moving on to 2026. Can Robbie continue pulling away from his brother, or will Kyle close the gap? Also, apologies if the sound quality is a little bit lower than usual. If you can hear a screaming baby in the background, it is my son giving my missus a hell of a bloody time while she gives me the time to entertain you lot. So, in appreciation for that, if you haven't subscribed, please do. And if you haven't liked this video, like it on behalf of my missus and show your appreciation for the hard graft that she's doing downstairs while I act like a tit and click on a screen. Robbie is back at Man City at 146 current ability. He had a hell of a season at Troyes, 17 in 32. In a league winning season, he fired them to the league title. 54 goals scored, 17 by Robbie. Champions of Ligue 2. What a season. He's on 146 current ability. His brother Kyle, 12 attribute points further back. Wanted by Fulham on loan. Unfortunately, I was going to say he didn't play for Aston Villa at all because I saw that 6. I just completely neglected to see that he'd played 36 times for Derby. So he's played 36 times for Derby. 15 goals in 34 starts, 2 of them off the bench in the Sky Bet Championship. In a season where Derby finished 16th. Not too bad at all. But despite that, Robbie is pulling further clear. Has his better start with the better facilitated Manchester City stood him in better stead than his brother Kyle? I mean, that's all I can think of. The better facilities have sorted him out better. At that age, no games and better facilities was better than being at a club playing football, regular football. He played quite a lot in the first season, did Kyle, for Altrincham, didn't he? 36 times. You think 36 games in the Van National League is actually at 17 is worse than being in the under-18 squad? I mean, the proof is in the pudding, right? We're looking at it. What do you do with your 17-year-olds? Well, if you've got a 17-year-old that you've bought who's English or who's come through the youth academy, and you want them to be homegrown at club, and you're thinking, if they come through the youth academy, they will end up getting homegrown at club. But those Champions League registration places. But if you're buying like an 18, I guess. I mean, I don't know. It's difficult, isn't it? Maybe we need to try this with an 18-year-old and see what would happen there, because I always like to send them out on loan to get some first-team football. I suppose for the 3 years rotting in the under 21s or whatever is not going to be good for them, is it? Anyway, on we move. 2027, here we come. And the gap is now 14 attribute points. Robbie Worthington is on loan once again. Or he's on the loan list, should I say. 7 times he played in the league for Manchester City. 2 starts, 5 off the bench, no goals. Although 3 starts and 2 off the bench in cup competitions, scoring twice, and he got a goal in 2 substitute appearances in continental competitions. His milestones, well, apparently he's an English Premier Division champion with those 7 games. Manchester City have won the league yet again. Pep is still at the wheel, and we have got Robbie Worthington now on loan, on the loan list at 153. Obviously playing second fiddle to Erling Haaland. Who's not going to play second fiddle to Erling Haaland? Even if he hits his potential at 190, he's going to be playing second fiddle to Erling Haaland. Ansu Fati moved to Man City for 183 million. There he is, 181. He's done well for himself. Who else have they bought there? Man City. Not that many people. Yeremy Pino, 125 million. Angel Gomez has gone for 77 million pounds from Lille. Nice one, United, for letting him go. He's now the number 7 at Man City. 152 current ability. 77 million. I mean, I say Lille have had your pants down, City. Anyway, on we move. Let's have a look at Aston Villa. Kyle at Aston Villa. He's been played at left back for some reason. 4 games last season for Villa, 2 goals, 3 of those were off the bench. So he's making an impact when he's coming on. Why is he not coming on more? That's the question that needs to be on everyone's lips. He's at 139 current ability. They're both 21 years old. There's still plenty of time to grow. And will they both hit 190? Almost certainly. They almost certainly will. Robbie, if he gets a loan move for Man City, he's almost done it. Kyle just needs to break into that Villa team. Enzo Maresca is now in charge of Aston Villa. So we're going to move to 2028. See if Robbie can pull further clear or if Kyle can close the gap. Oh, it's 21 points. It's 21 attribute points. And despite the fact he played 15 times for Man City this season, 9 were off the bench. He played quite a few times in other competitions as well. 26 games in total, 13 starts, 13 off the bench. Just the 1 goal for Robbie, which is strange. I mean, he's got the attributes. Look at that. He's got good pace, great composure, great off the ball, great finishing. I mean, he's got everything you need to be a striker. He's not small. His heading's a bit meh. His jumping reach is a bit meh. But for like a world-class prolific striker. But still, he's still passable. He's still very good. He's got great anticipation. He's got all the attributes. Why is he not scoring more goals? In a Man City team as well. Kyle, what's happened to him? 9 games for Villa, no goals all season. So a bit of a dismal season for the Worthington brothers. And as you can see, Robbie is streets ahead of Kyle. Much better in terms of speed, physicality, even defending, technical ability and attacking. If we look at the attribute breakdown, only concentration and jumping reach benefit Kyle, who's got another centimetre on his brother now. Is that just the Barnet? Robbie is just streaking clear in almost every facet of his game. That being said, Kyle has still got some very good attributes for a striker. It's just a shame that he's not progressing. We're going to have to move to 2029. Oh, Kyle's still at 141. Robbie's got to 168. He's 27 attribute points different now. I mean, 5 goals in 25 appearances for City. 16 were off the bench. 11 in all competitions in 44 games. 1 in 4. 25 of them were off the bench. So you've got to give him the opportunity. And he's starting to take the opportunity, to be fair. In terms of his milestones, he's won... he's capped internationally. Missed that. He's a Premier Division champion multiple times. He's a Champions League winner. 2 goals in 7 caps for England. Like I say, he's at 168. In terms of his brother Kyle, no caps, of course. 17 and 29 for the under-21s. Again, another season on the bench for Villa. And I feel that he's, unfortunately, probably going to have wasted his career sitting on the Aston Villa bench. If he'd have gone to a championship side and played regular football there, well, he might have done something. But as it stands, I just don't see it. Goes 2030. Okay, things are happening. So Robbie is pulled up to 174. Kyle is pulling back. He's now at 153, so the attribute difference is 21. Was it 21 last time? I can't remember if it was 21 last time or he's closed the gap back to 21. Robbie is on £275,000 a week. He is, at this point, pretty much world class. But at this point, he's still just playing second fiddle to Erling Haaland. Luis Enrique's in charge. Erling Haaland's only 29 as well. Like, he's got years left in him. He's literally got years left in him. Kyle on the flip side, well, he's actually played a little bit for Aston Villa this season. He's broke into that first team. 8 goals is not good enough. Thomas Tuchel is in charge. Last season, we had Tottenham winning the league, City finishing 4th. Aston Villa are down in 17th. And that's because their lead striker, their talisman, 8 goals in 35 games. I don't care if a few of them were off the bench. 27 starts. 27 starts. He should be scoring more than 8 goals. Maybe another season for Aston Villa, he can propel them up the league and he can kick on with them a bit better. Let's go to 2031. See if that's the case. Right. So it's now 17 the gap. So he is pulled further back. Robbie's up at 177. And again, is it another... It's another stop-start kind of season. 18 games this season, 12 off the bench, so 6 starts. He got 7 league goals. He's getting a 7.14. He's won the World Cup with England. He's won the World Cup. 8 goals in 21 caps. Kyle is unhappy. Wants to move to a bigger club. He's transfer listed by request for £95 million. Well, I would say don't bite the hand that feeds you, but Aston Villa have barely fed him. Aston Villa have really underutilised him to the point where he's in his mid-20s and he's amounted to literally fuck all. 31 games, 15 goals this season. That's a little bit more like it. Where did Aston Villa finish? 11th. So he fired a bit better. Bang, up in 11th. Man City finishing second. And once again, it's Tottenham winning the league. So Tottenham are doing pretty well. De Zerbi's in charge. 2 in a row for him. And we're now, the race is on to 190. Robbie, he's in the driving seat. But if Kyle moves to a club and plays week in, week out, that gap could shrink quick. Let's go to 2032. Right, so that's now shrunk to 15. Robbie at 181 for Manchester City. 23 games, 7 goals again this season. 16 of those off the bench once again, so 7 starts. It's over a 7 rating. No trophies for Man City this season. Have they lost Pep? Yeah, they have. I wonder when they lost Pep. Kyle is still asking to move to a bigger club, but he's no longer transfer listed by request. He's on £54,000 a week, which, to be honest, feels like a slap in the face considering his brother is on £275,000 a week and has been for a long time. Kyle, of course, is closing that gap. He's at 166. The gap is now 15. I think he's still too far. He's got 12 in 33 in this most recent season. Still yet to be capped by England, which I feel is a little bit unfair because at 166, he's got a pretty good current ability, to be perfectly honest, but, is what it is. So we're just limping through this race to 190. Let's go to 2033 and see if someone's going to make real moves in the pursuit of that 190 current ability. Well, he's up at 183. Kyle at 170. He's driving him. He's clawing him back in. He now no longer wants to leave to join a bigger club. Robbie, 18 in 33, all 23 starts. Has Erling Haaland left the building? No, Erling Haaland has not left the building. Erling Haaland is still at Man City and still an absolute phenomenal talent. Only 32 years old. But Robbie seems to be getting more game time. Not sure why. Look at that, Romeo Lavia. Moved for 74 million from Chelsea. Kyle at Villa, 19 in 35. Arsenal have broken Tottenham's dominance over the league by winning the league. 3rd for Man City. Brighton are in 4th. Tottenham all the way down in 5th. Aston Villa in 6th, getting Europa League football. Well, maybe that's why he doesn't want to leave anymore. Where's he going to go? Liverpool, 10th. Brighton. Evan Ferguson's still there at Brighton at 28 years old. He's becoming a little bit of a superstar on £325,000 a week. Julio Enciso, £300,000 a week. Oscar Bob, £160,000 a week. 2034, here we come. Oh, Robbie's still at 183. Kyle is at 171. It's now 12 attribute points different. I think we're starting to hit their peak and stop really progressing. They're at 27 years old. I don't think anyone's going to get to 190. I hope they both get to 190 and they'd be having a battle out to see who would win the Ballon d'Or and more Champions Leagues, but that's not been the case. 15 and 32 this season for Robbie. Not a bad scoring record considering he got 10 starts. 22 of those were off the bench in those 32 games. Still no trophies for Manchester City. De Zerbi's now in charge of Man City. He left Tottenham and went to Real Madrid. Champions League winners left them, come to Man City. Kyle at Villa. His career stats, 20 and 34 in this most recent season. His milestones, they've won the Europa League. I wondered if they'd win the Europa League. Well, they did. They beat Chelsea in the final, an all-English final. And look at that, Girona beating Arsenal in the final the year before. But Aston Villa have won the Europa League. Kyle Worthington has now got 5 caps for England and 2 goals. He's on 60k a week. His contract is expiring. Oh my God, he's joining AC Milan. I completely missed that. He's on the way with the international duty. He just didn't say. He just didn't say he's joining AC Milan, but he's joining AC Milan tomorrow. How will his first season in Italy go? Let's go to 2035. Oh, 10 is the difference. It's too little too late in the words of Jojo, but it is too little too late. 23 in 33 for AC Milan in his debut season. What a debut season it was. In a league winning season. I mean, they've been winning a hell of a lot of league titles, to be fair, of AC Milan, but they did it. Jurgen Klopp is in charge. How long has he been in charge for? Just over 2 years. They've had Vinny Comp for nearly 5 years, who's done absolutely amazingly. Where's he gone? He's the manager of Real Madrid. He's been at Liverpool, AC Milan, Spurs, Burnley. Fair play. Newcastle have just won the Premier League. beating Manchester City on goal difference. Can you believe it, Robbie? With his 14 and 26, again, loads of appearances off the bench. He's been a squad option at Manchester City, which for me feels slightly underwhelming. He's got 28 and 58 for England. Yeah, it's just underwhelming, isn't it? It's just underwhelming. Kyle at AC Milan, 23 and 33 in a league-winning season. Fantastic stuff. He was there when England won the World Cup as well. 2 in a row for England. So 2 World Cups for Robbie, 1 World Cup for Kyle. Yeah, there he is. That's the first trophy he's won in a hell of a long time. And the question now is, because he did win a few league titles and a few Champions Leagues and stuff with City early doors when he wasn't really playing. Now he's a squad option and he's sort of in and amongst it. He's not really done anything with England. So with City, he's won 2 World Cups with England. Kyle, on the other hand, he's got Villa from nearly being relegated, with admittedly him being at the forefront of that season. But then he's helped drag them through the league to the point where they qualified for the Europa League, won the Europa League. He got himself a transfer to AC Milan for free. A little bit of scumbaggery there, but he got himself to AC Milan and won Serie A in his debut season. He got 23 goals. Did he win? He won the top goal scorer as well in his first season. Have a bit of that. Kyle won the top goal scorer in his first season. There you go. So the race is on. I don't think we're going to get there. We're going to do some bigger jumps now because this is really rumbling on. Let's go 2 years now. They'll be 30 years old. Oh, Robbie at 30 years old is at 187. 10 attribute points difference still to his brother Kyle at 177. Robbie's been played at defensive midfield. Was that there already, or was that his brother Kyle? All of a sudden, in the last 2 seasons, he's become their main man at Man City. 28 in 34 in the most recent season. Not enough though. Newcastle have won the league. Villas-Boas in charge. Man City finishing 4th, 3rd, then 4th in the last 2 seasons. Not good enough. Newcastle, far and away the best team in the league. Only winning by a point in the most recent season on 76. That's pretty low. Top goal scorer was Robbie Worthington, though, on 28 goals. I thought it would be. Kyle at 177 at AC Milan. Well, he's got a lot of goals in, 25, 23, 25, 23 in the league. That's very impressive. They did lose the league title to Inter with 100 points. Well, there you go then. They've done pretty well, haven't they? AC Milan with 2 league titles, though. And Kyle's got the top goal scorer every single season he's been there. They've also won the Italian Cup and 2 Serie A's. Is he having the better career? I think he probably is. He's probably having the better career, even though he's not reached the higher potential. He's had a lower current ability for the majority. I think he's doing better. Anyway, they're about to start declining. We'll just quickly go 1 year to 2038. Still 187 and 177. Right, they started to decline. So we're 2 years on in 2030 now. 186 and 175. So the last 2 years, 20 and 22. But Man City have won the league both times. And that's because Vincent Kompany's come in and become the manager. Roberto De Zerbi was there for 2 years, got sacked. And there you go. Vincent Kompany come in, wins the league. Robbie Worthington, though, nowhere near the top goal scorer. Kyle at AC Milan, he's just got over 20 goals every season. 34 in 35 in that most recent season. Surely they've won the league. They've won it both seasons. Look at that, 94 points, 34 goals. Of course he was the top goal scorer. 5 years in a row, top goal scorer. Italian Serie A champions, International League winners with England. 10 in 30 for England. It's not as good as his brother. He's got 67 in 105. I still think Kyle's having the better career. Let's go 3 years to 2042. Maybe Saudi Arabia will have come knocking. Okay, Robbie's gone to Real Madrid. He moved for free from Man City to Real Madrid 1 season ago. In that season, he did win the league. Oh, he's won the Champions League with Man City a couple of times, actually. Spanish Cup, Spanish First Division. He won the Champions League with Man City. He's not won a Premier League with Man City, though, in a long time. Kyle, he's gone to Al Nassr. When did he go to Al Nassr? This most recent season. So previously at AC, Italian Cup, Euros winners with England. Top goal scorer, runner-up in 2040. Not even mentioned in 2041. He's won the Asian Champions League. What's he on? Making up for being paid considerably less than his brother for all those years. He's on £1.4 million a week. Nearly £1 million a week more than his brother Robbie. He's wanted by Al Ahly. He's listed because Real Madrid no longer want his services, despite buying him at the start of the season. He scored 26 in 29. Seems weird. Seems very weird. Right, Kyle's retiring. Robbie is at Al Ahly, and he's at £825,000 a week. So, yeah, he left at the start of the season. There's not really much more to say. Who had the better career? Did anyone win any Ballon d'Ors? So, Robbie at Man City is the only winner of a Ballon d'Or, despite the fact that I think his brother Kyle did better. Footballer of the Year, again, one for Robbie, none for Kyle. Player of the Year, again, just the one for Robbie. And I'm almost certain if we go to Team of the Year, all seasons, well, no one's in it. Erling Haaland only managed to get himself on the bench. Vinicius Jr. is the striker. He's now an unemployed manager. There we go. Well, that's what happens if you have two players at the opposite ends of the football pyramid. I thought it was quite interesting. Robbie had the better start and was always better in terms of current ability. But Kyle, with the game time and the goals and the performances, came into his own, went to Milan and just dominated for a few years, in which, in my opinion, made him have the better career, despite the fact he had lower current ability than his brother throughout. Hope you enjoyed this one, ladies and gentlemen. Like I said earlier, do drop a like on it, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Let me know any ideas that you might have for experiments down in the comments below, but most importantly, take good care of yourselves, and I'll see you soon.